Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this beautiful Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, a Rundu landlord has locked up medication over alleged unpaid rent by the Health Ministry. The locked facility used by the ministry's primary healthcare staff serves as a storage point for medication and supplies dispatched to the remote Bora Clinic, which lies 82 kilometers southwest of Rundu. The closure has once again laid bare administrative dysfunction and neglect, according to PHC officials who spoke to Network Media Hub on condition of anonymity. The owner gave notice last week already. He told the PHC supervisor to vacate before Monday or he would lock up. Nothing was done and he followed through. One official said, "We're tired of being told that people in higher offices are not aware." Kavango West Health Director Francisca Hamutenya said, "We will continue with this story, but first we'll go for a quick ad break."
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from $500 Namibian excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just $15 Namibian per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more. Or go to paratus.africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared, Paratus.
Still with our top stories. Moving on, the City of Windhoek CEO Moses Matayai is urging fund managers to invest in Namibia's housing market, highlighting the significant opportunities for high returns. Matayai made this appeal at a recent investor showcase hosted by Makalandi Fund Managers, where he emphasized that the severe housing backlog, particularly in Windhoek, offers a vast market for investment. We have set a target of building approximately 12,000 houses or 12,000 erven, an area that is close to 300 properties for you to service will cost around 80,000 Namibian dollars if you're lucky, and everything is in order within a good 9 to 12 months. Matayai said, outlining the cost and timeframes involved in developing Windhoek's property market. Now, according to him, this presents an investment opportunity worth 2.7 billion Namibian dollars should it be realized. We have an upgrade plan that needs to be implemented. When you look at our backlog, and I'll elaborate on this. The backlog in Namibia's housing sector was previously 300,000 houses. A 300,000 house backlog is a serious market. You cannot go wrong investing in that market because there is certainly demand for such a development across the country. Despite the backlog and the potential to recoup investments, investors must also consider what the average citizen can afford and what the market can realistically provide, so as to not exacerbate the housing crisis, Matayai said. Moving over to our next story, the Ministry of Education has allocated over 503 million Namibian dollars towards the construction, upgrading and equipping of schools, hostels and libraries across Namibia, according to its latest development budget for the 2025-2026 financial year. A key focus of this allocation is the early childhood and primary education phases. The budget earmarks 98 million Namibian dollars for the construction of 157 pre-primary classrooms nationwide, with 60 million Namibian dollars provided through a grant from the European Union and 38 million Namibian dollars drawn from the ministry's resources. This investment supports the ongoing formalization of early childhood development into the national education system. With technical assistance from the EU and UNICEF, the ministry has confirmed that it is working in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender and the Ministry of Health and Social Services to oversee this transition, ensuring a smooth alignment of community-based ECD centers with formal education structures. Rather than taking over these centers, the ministry aims to provide oversight, develop standards, and enhance support through school feeding and improved stimulation services. Now, feeding programs will be extended to reach 37,000 children this year, and standardized playgrounds are being introduced at several ECD centers. Further support for early learners include the distribution of 1,571 ECD kits valued at nearly $4 million, with an additional 3,142 kits to be procured next year. These efforts aim to enhance the quality of teaching and learning materials, particularly in rural areas. In our next story, a 48-year-old man has been sentenced to 40 years in prison by the Ondangwa Magistrates Court after being found guilty of raping his biological daughter and impregnating her. The man, a resident of Onalunike, a village, was convicted on 2 counts of rape and sentenced to 20 years on each count to run consecutively. The victim was 17 years old at the time of the offenses in 2020. Court documents show that she dropped out of school and faced stigma and trauma following the rape, which also led to the birth of a child. The baby later died in a fire. Delivering the sentence on the 20th of June 2025, Magistrate Ruben Hamuniera said the court could not find any substantial or compelling circumstances to deviate from the prescribed minimum sentence. He stressed the seriousness of the incident and what he termed devastating impact on the victim. The offense is serious and prevalent. There is nothing more degrading and humiliating than being raped by your father. The victim's right to dignity was severely violated. Now, the accused should have been the protector, not the perpetrator. Hamuniera said. Now, the court heard that the victim now attends counseling sessions with the support from social workers. Her mother testified that the family was forced to relocate due to social stigma. She pleaded with the court to impose a custodian sentence, saying although she had forgiven him, the crime had deeply traumatized her daughter. The man maintained his innocence throughout the trial and denied ever raping his daughter. He also showed no remorse through his trial. He pleaded not guilty in January 2024, but was convicted on the 30th of May 2025. During the sentencing, the defense pointed to his role as a father of 14 children, of which 6 are school-going, and an employee in Walvis Bay. He reportedly also has livestock and employees whose salaries he pays. However, the court rejected these mitigating factors. The court also noted a request from the perpetrator's father, who pleaded for a lighter sentence, citing his son's extensive responsibilities, including supporting his parents, children, and livestock, as his wife is unemployed. That concludes our top stories. We will be taking a look at the story of the day shortly.
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from $500 Namibian excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just $15 Namibian per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more, or go to paratus.africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Getting into the story of the day, the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, Lucia Ipumbu, says the new government is not simply continuing business as usual, and that the public will be involved in the rollout of electronic IDs, and the input of experts in the field and the public is being taken into account. Let's have a look.
And conference approach details that we have to be interactive We have to be participatory. We have to be engaging. Meaning that I would not come here and sit and preach to you as the minister without hearing from you. We are here to engage, to share ideas, to interact, so that at the end of the day, when this electronic ID take off, as we plan to implement it by mid next year, and that's why we have started the engagements early enough. We have everybody on board. Your ideas, your opinions that you are going to give here today, they are going to be taken on board, and they are going to be refined and be implemented and be part of the bigger journey towards the implementation of this role. This transition is a transition for the nation, and we must move with time. The latest electronic data that we have, we want to transform them into reality of making sure that they are accessible and reachable by each and every operator that needs to make use of it. And I look forward for that engagement, and I'm glad that we have all of you who are here to be part of this great initiative. Thank you very much for coming.
On the other side of the break, we will be taking a look at the Outlever and Leased Group, which has announced their plan to launch a model, a proudly homegrown retail brand. More on this on the other side of the break in our economic news.
Running a business isn't just about hitting the big milestones, it's also about handling the day-to-day. From equipping your office, to closing deals over lunch, to managing your team's expenses while they're on the go. Now, with the FNB Business Credit Card, you can handle everyday expenses with ease. Enjoy up to 44 days of interest-free credit, unlimited swipes, and real-time expense tracking, so you're always in control. Apply for an FNB Business Credit Card. Contact us today to get started. FNB, how can we help you?
Starting us off in our economic news, the Outlever and Leased Group this week announced the transition of a new chapter in Namibian retail, which begins on the 1st of July 2025 with the launch of Model, a proudly homegrown retail brand. Due to franchise constraints, the switchover could not happen before this date, but from the 1st of July, the company gains complete operational independence, introducing a new retail system with full local control over operations, technology, and supplier relationships. Model's transition is not instantaneous but carefully phased. From the 1st of July, the old signage will start coming down and the Model brand will become visible in stores. This gradual transformation will unfold over the coming months and years, with the Hours Valley store in Windhoek leading the way as the first location to undergo comprehensive renovation, with completion expected towards the end of September 2025. Sven Thiam, the executive chairman of the O&L Group, said the transition would allow Model to build partnerships with local suppliers, invest in Namibian talent, and shape a shopping experience that reflected local communities. This shift creates meaningful opportunities for Namibian producers and suppliers who meet high-quality standards to list their products directly, strengthening the local supply chain and supporting homegrown businesses. The Model brand is founded on authentic connections, caring service, and a passionate commitment to the Namibian community. Rather, Thiam said, Graham Maton, the MD of the Model, emphasized the customer-focused approach that will define the company's new identity. We are changing our name and reimagining what retail can be in Namibia. While our phased rollout and renovation process may bring minor disruptions, we value our customers' patience as we transform these temporary inconveniences into refreshed improved shopping experiences. Moving over to our next economic news story, Hosta Investments has offered to take over $23 million debt owed by the Spiergebied diamond mine to the national power utility NamPower. The struggling diamond mine has faced ongoing financial difficulties in recent years, including a power cut by NamPower in May 2023 due to non-payment. Hosta Investments, a 10-month-old firm registered with the Business and Intellectual Property Authority, has now stepped in with a proposal to assume the debt. According to BIPA records, the company is owned by Matan Danele and Mason Cornelius Pieter. It was registered on the 13th of September 2024. A memo dated the 19th of May 2025, signed by NamPower Managing Director Samson Haulufu and seen by Namibian Sun, requests the Audit and Risk Management Committee to recommend the proposal to the board for approval. Now, according to Haulufu, the debt was referred to the legal department for further action. He highlighted a number of meetings the parastatal had with the SDM to resolve the matter. The committee said 2 weeks ago, and sources claim that it has allegedly put together a proposal to the board to write off the debts. The board of directors, chaired by lawyer Clive Kavenji, met yesterday. A deeds of cession of claim and right of action in possession shows Hosta Investment wants to pay a first payment of $13.5 million to NamPower in installments. The deed reveals that Hosta Investments will further pay in 4 equal installments an amount of $137 US every 6 months. So that's $137,000 US every 6 months. We'll now swing over to our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.24, against the euro at 20.68, against the US dollar at 17.68, 2 Namibian dollars and 46 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold went down at 0.03%, while copper, platinum, and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.36%, going for $68 and 20 cents per barrel. In our international news, 29 children who were taking their school exams in the Central African Republic have been killed in a crash after a nearby explosion. We will get into this shortly.
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from $500 Namibian excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just $15 Namibian per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more, or go to paratus.africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Getting into our international news, 29 children who were taking their school exams in the Central African Republic have been killed in a crash after a nearby explosion caused panic, a hospital director told the BBC. Now, the blast on the second day of the high school finals on Wednesday occurred at an electricity transformer, said Abel Asaye from the Bangui Community Hospital. Now, the noise of the explosion combined with smoke caused alarm among the almost 6,000 students sitting the baccalaureate at a school in the capital, Bengui local radio station Deke Luka reported. President Faustin Archange Taudera has declared a period of national mourning. He also ordered that the more than 280 who were wounded in the crash get free treatment in hospital. Students from 5 different schools in the capital had gone to the Lacy Barthélemy Boganda to sit the baccalaureate exam. The Education Ministry said the explosion happened after power was restored at the electricity transformer located on the ground floor of the main building that had been undergoing repairs. I also offer our sincere condolences to the parents of the affected candidates and wish a speedy recovery to the injured candidates. Education Minister Aurelian Simplese Kongbled Zimgas said in a statement. He also announced the suspension of further exams. That concludes the international news. We're now swinging over to the weather predictions for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 1 degree Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions, while Oshakati can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Arensvlei can expect a minimum of 4 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 12 degrees Celsius with sunny weather, while Rehoboth can expect -1 minimum and a maximum of 15 degrees Celsius, also with sunny weather. We're now swinging over to the sports desk with Ari Hohart with the sports news.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first, and it is the Club World Cup that continues, and it was a brave effort by Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. Unfortunately, they drew their game. That was their last round-robin game against Fluminense, that they from Brazil. Fluminense that will go through to the last 16 after the draw, so it was agonizingly close for Mamelodi Sundowns, but they're out of the tournament. It is also Bayern Borussia Dortmund that goes through in that group to the last 16. Other teams are through to the last 16. In Group B, it is Paris Saint-Germain and Botafogo that's through. In Group C, it is Benfica and Bayern Munich. And then also in Group D, it is Flamengo and Chelsea. And also confirmed to go through in Group G is Juventus and Manchester City. That's all in the Club World Cup being played in the United States of America. On to tennis news. It is on the Hamburg Open, that is in Germany on grass, and on the women's side of the draw, it is Mila Andreeva that beat Claire Tusen by 3-6, 6-3 and 6-1. She's a number 3 seed. And then it is also Elina Svitolina that beat Beatriz Haddad Maia of Brazil, also in 3 tough sets, 7-6 in the 3rd set tiebreak. And then most of the top seeds still in the tournament. Number 4 seed Iga Swiatek, also number 1 seed Jessica Pegula, and number 2 seed Jasmine Paolini, all still in the tournament. On the men's side of world tennis, it is the Eastbourne Tennis Tournament also being played on grass, and great performance by Britain's Dan Evans. He is 170th in the world, and he beat the 13th seeded player in the world, that is Tommy Paul of the United States. So it's Dan Evans that's already 35 years old, and he beat Tommy Paul by 6-4, 3-6 and 6-3 to advance to the next round in the Eastbourne Tennis Tournament. Then to close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news. Cricket news from the West Indies. It is the West Indies and Australia that play a test match series for the first time in 10 years in the Caribbean, and it is the first test being played in Bridgetown, and it is the first day that offered lots of support for the bowlers. There were 14 wickets in the first day, and so it was Australia batting first, 180 runs. They were all out. Only Travis Head with 59 that making a good contribution there. And then when the West Indies came in to bat, also they battled. It was 57 for the loss of 4. That was at close of play on the first day. The West Indies also struggling, so lots of wickets on the first day. That is the first test being played in Bridgetown in Barbados. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Don't forget that you can catch Sunset News next week, Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on our DSTV channel 285, our GoTV channel 25, and on our website 102.com. From me, Glenora Shipura, until next time.